Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What is up, Myka man?
I am chilling, Stevie Stacks. How are you doing today?
Real quick, I'm doing fine. And real quick, let me do something real quick to celebrate the day. Let me take this fucking mask off, this COVID mask, and throw it in the trash because Texas ain't about that no more.
Abbott has officially lifted the ban. He says you can operate at 100% and you ain't got to have on no mask. But I have a few theories on that.
I want to hear these theories. Let me get this. I tore this mask off, so now I got stuff everywhere. But yeah, go ahead.
I truly don't think people are going to just walk around with no mask. I think people have been scared so much and it's become a norm for a whole year. I just can't see, unless you go to Walmart or something. You go to Starbucks and Target, they're going to have on masks.
You know what they call that, right?
What's that?
They're institutionalized.
That too, man.
When someone comes out of prison and they can't go pee until someone tells them to go pee, they're institutionalized.
What movie was that on? What movie was that on?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption. He got out and he didn't know to go pee.
Yeah, he had to ask for permission.
Yeah,
and
man.
he couldn't pee a drop. Yeah, so Abbott lifted the ban. Lifted the mask. You have to wear masks. Don't have to wear masks no more. He lifted the whatever that's called. And businesses can operate at 100%.
Capacity. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of a shocker. I've been noticing the COVID cases have been dropping to the point where the actual media, the ones that try to scare us all the time, they actually had to say something about it because they've been dropping. They actually had to know. At first, they're like, well, there's new strands. We're not out of the woods yet. Like, they just keep dropping and plummeting. Hospitals, not full. They had to say, yeah, well, cases are going down, but that they had to admit it. I'm like, and so Texas, they just needed that little boom, and all right, everything's lifted, back to business. We're back in business, and so we're gonna expect a bigger influx of Californians and New Yorkers and everywhere else. Man, it's just gonna get even crazier over here.
That's true, man. I don't know how. It's funny. I almost had an 8-unit deal in Dallas, and I was like, man, I was about to do it, but it wasn't working out for me. The deal, it was like, man, they wanted you to screen every guest, which is cool because you can do that through Safely. But then they were like, they wanted you to, you weren't allowed to change the locks, and I'm like, man, the logistics of that just ain't worth my time. So I'm really trying to go in on branding, and if it doesn't fit my brand, I'm not even about to waste my time on it anymore.
All right, let me reset us real quick. This is episode 157 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rental, long-term rental, real estate podcast in the world, and coming at you from Arlington and Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, land of the free, home of the brave.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, speaking of Californians and New Yorkers, y'all need to make sure you're on relocatassure.com for all the reloads coming here, and you can house those people. That's just a good plug for you.
Relocate.
I think reloassure.com. I'll get the one and put it in the show notes. But that's one. But another one I would look into right now, too, since all the pipes are busted. All these claims adjusters coming to Texas, they need housing too. So you need to get with the insurance company, see if you can house those claims adjusters. So quick, two quick gems for y'all so y'all can fill up your places. Nice. Well, if you're not the ones dealing with busted pipes, but.
Did you get any busted pipes from the storms?
I got two, actually. Two of my houses. They're both fixed now, but we got to do drywall repair. We had to do floor repair. And then it was pretty much on both of them were on the, one was on the back of the washing machine and the other one was on the water heater. So I did deal with that, but good thing they're short-term rentals. They double up the cash flow. We could pay for them. But yeah, we probably had about $1,500 in unexpected expenses this month. So
Damn,
Yeah.
that's in Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yep.
Now,
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you were able to claim it on your insurance or wasn't worth it.
I didn't have time to, but I'm gonna see if I can now because I have the receipts for it. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can, because the thing about it is with short-term rentals, sometimes and that's why I was looking at getting into the proper insurance, because with regular insurance you don't have the turnaround time to just do that. You know what I mean? They got to send out an adjuster. Like, dude, shit's broke. You know what I mean? So that's why also I'd say look into proper insurance, because they'll give you the turnaround time to go ahead and get it fixed, and they can reimburse.
Here's the one thing I was thinking about proper when this whole Texas thing went down and everybody's houses nobody had power, nobody had, busted pipes everywhere and all these guests, because Texas is huge, the size of bigger than most countries. And I was like, if Texas alone would have put proper into bankruptcy if they would have had to pay out all the Airbnbs in Texas and float them for a week and then reimburse them. I said, there's no way they could have done it. There's no way they could have done it. But not everybody has proper, so
depends on who's their insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how Airbnb stays alive.
all I know is that our freaking homeowners insurance is going to probably double next year because you remember Katrina. It jacked our prices up for Katrina. We don't even live nowhere near the coast.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. My house is there. All the insurance went up after Katrina.
See, I wasn't living here then, man. I was living in
Yeah. I said, what happened to my homeowner's insurance? It's like double. And they're like, oh, because of Katrina, this and that. I'm like, I don't live near the coast. He goes, yeah, but we all, everybody's went up. So these mother lovers.
Dude.
We don't even live there. We got to pay for that.
I'm happy you brought up Katrina and homeowners insurance, because I just went through that with my my place, and I just finished my refi, right? And I didn't realize, man, double check this. I didn't realize my house is in a flood zone. And so for insurance to insure it, you have to get flood insurance. It's like $4G's a year. I'm like, damn. Dang. I'm like, what the man? But they were like, that's the only way we can, finish the refi. So I was like, okay.
That's the refi on which house?
On the house the house we rehabbed. But it's finished now. I think it was like I think it was like $4,000. So I was like, man, I don't know. But
every year? Shit.
Yeah, but you'd break it down. The Airbnb numbers make it work, but I don't know if the long-term numbers would, but I got to double check. So can
you just get rid of that insurance after your refi?
No, because you realize, well, you technically could, but if the place floods, do you want to have the insurance?
Buy some sandbags, man. Come on.
And it is in the flood zone because it's right next to this little creek. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and break down and pay it. So.
Yeah, you might want to sell that one. You
might be better as a flip. You might be right.
Yeah, he got all the money back out of it, so that's good.
Yeah.
But so it's gonna be a good show today. We had a guest that was gonna come on, but they were busy or something happened.
Yeah.
They ended up going on vacation, which is good. He needed a vacation. But we got a great show, man. We got a great show. One of my pipes busted at my Hearst house. Yeah.
Really? You only have one?
Luckily, the guests were there that we know of. And that's the only one. Because the power was out at that house for like 4 days. But luckily, they were there when it happened, and they called me and said, hey, we kind of got an emergency over here. I had to rush over there. And it's ice and snow, and was able to get the water turned off. And then a funny thing happened because I had a handyman come through. He was gonna do some tile work for me there at the house, right? And he was supposed to go over there the week before the freeze. He never got around to getting there, and he got there like right when the next week it was the freeze, the big deep freeze, snow and all that. He was able to get there Friday, like the tail end of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to do this and this to the tiles. Okay, that's cool. And he's like, he said, you could do the whole floors if you want them to all match. I said, man, I don't know if I'm going to have, a lot of money for all that right now because I got some pipes I got to worry about. He goes, oh, okay. I do a little plumbing too on the side. So if you need a plumber, and all the plumbers are booked up, right? And I was like, actually, yeah, I do. It's like, he goes, oh, really? Where at? He goes, at that house where you're at right now in the back. And so he went in there, man. he had to cut through, the ceiling to get to where the pipes were, and he did some extensive work, man. He went in there, cut out the ceiling, pulled apart where the wall where all the water was coming down because it was all warped and everything, and he went in there, found the problem, got the water back on, got the pipes put back together. Then in a few days, let it dry out, put it all the drywall, everything back together, and it looked really nice. And and he's gonna did the tile, and I was like, how much is all this gonna cost me, man? He's like, let's say $700. I was like,
made out good, man.
I was like, what? It's like I couldn't believe it. Just seven, man. I was like, but he's a handyman, he just does it on the side, So if you find you a handyman out there, they're a lot better. They know a little bit about everything, and they don't try to screw you because they don't have like a bunch of employees and overhead and all that stuff.
Good thing about it too, like with handyman, man, handymen are so high demand right now in Texas. I've been watching, those for we buy houses signs. Next to them, I've been seeing handyman signs with their number on them. I'm like, damn, but they know they're in high demand right now. You got to have that, man. Plumbing issues right now are through the roof. If you a plumber right now, man, made me want to pick up a trade.
He had to wait on some solder because it was all sold out everywhere. All the plumbing supplies were gone, so he had to wait on that a couple of days. Or like the next day, he was able to get some from a friend or something, but all the solder was sold out at all the stores, to solder the pipes back together. Yeah, it's crazy. They showed the lines outside the hardware stores the next day, man. Because people had to get water back on. They couldn't just wait for a plumber. They had to do some YouTube fixing, you know what I'm saying?
For real. And the thing about it is, like how you said, the solder was like out of out of it. That's happening right now with lumber, because lumber, it takes you. I was talking to this dude because I just sold my condo, and I was about to pick up another rehab, but I kind of like start pumping my brakes a little bit. Dude was like, by the way, lumber, it's an 8-week turnaround. I'm like, that's 2 months. So I was like, man, hell no. Let me kind of pump my brakes on picking up properties that need like extensive work. Cause this one needed expensive work. And if you got to pick up lumber, if you have an 8-week turnaround time and you're sitting on hard money and you got to sit for 2 months, man, that can kill a rehab real quick. Your holding costs go through the roof. So I was like, yeah. And that seems like to be the same thing with plumbing right now. So man, I don't know, man. It seems like if you're doing like picking up properties to rehab them, it's a scary time. So be careful with that one.
Yeah. Go chop down some trees or something.
Yeah. Seriously. I ain't playing, man.
So how's H-Town doing?
H-Town was doing good, man. Places are booked. We kind of just had a crazy ass story 2 days ago that Airbnb is in my inbox about. I hope I don't get kicked off the platform.
Uh-oh. What happened?
So this lady on the 28th, she was supposed to check out. She had asked us like on the 25th. She was like, hey, do you have any other places available? Can I extend? And we were like, hey, we'll look around for you. And of course, we didn't find anything, but we forgot to tell her, which no big deal. But the lady forgets to check out. Now, it's multiple problems here. My cleaner didn't show up till 2:30. Our cleaning window is 12 to 4. So we got to talk to the cleaner about that. But the problem is she shows up, man. The lady has all her stuff in there, right? All her stuff, like a dog in there, everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? So I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, because she called me. She was like, Myka, I couldn't reach Comfy, but there's a dog in here and everything's here. Like this woman's still here, but nobody's here. So I hit my guy up at Comfy. He's like, did you call her? So I sent her a message to Airbnb, nothing. So I called her, nothing. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so my guy, he's funny as hell. He was like, yo, do I need to pull up? And I'm like, I don't know what we're going to do. He's like, I'll get her stuff out of there, So I'm like, oh, shit. So by the time he says this and heads over there, we finally get the lady on the phone and we get her in the message. She's like, oh, I asked about the extension. And I'm like, hey, we didn't have any places available. She's like, oh, I thought I was supposed to check out tomorrow, but I'm not going to be back to Houston until tomorrow morning. I'm like, what the oh my God. So I'm like, okay, we have somebody checking in. This guest, she asked for early check-in. So I'm like, look, we got to get the stuff out of here. Man, my guy goes over there. He packs up all their stuff, puts it in his car, including their dog.
Oh my, wow. That's some boots on the ground right there.
Oh my God, what? And so we let her know, like, hey, she goes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, look, we're going to have to just put your stuff up until you can come back and get it. So she was like, oh, okay, that's fine. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we pack her stuff up. We take it to the guy's house. It's over there. She picks it up. I think day before yesterday, she picks it up. Now she picks it up. No, she picked it up yesterday. I'm sorry. She picks it up. And I'm like, cool. I think everything's over with. Airbnb hits me up today. She's like, they were like, it was the safety people. They're like, hey, can you let us know what happened? And I let them know what happened. And I was like, hey, hello, here's what happened. And I was like, I hope this didn't cause any inconvenience, but we did let her know that we'd be placing your stuff at another location. And I put everything in the Airbnb app. So it was all good. But yeah, dude, it was like, how did you, I'm talking, she's like, we're not coming back to Houston till 9 a.m. I'm like, what? So we got it figured out, but it was like crazy. But that's just a crazy story you have to deal with every now and then. Then the lady who checked in, she was mad, and I'm like, so it's like you deal with two problems. Like this problem led into this problem. You know what I mean? So,
Damn.
But other than that, they're pretty good. They've been doing well for us. I'm loving it. You know, they're doing pretty well. But I think I'm more or less going to focus on bigger units if I do pick up anything. 2-bedroom minimum. At the minimum, it has to be 2 bedrooms. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good thing it wasn't a pit bull dog.
I forgot what kind of dog it was too, man. It was real funny. But how's your Houston, your Dallas and Fort Worth units doing?
Fort Worth booked all the way still through April, May. Yeah, all the way through May.
Good.
And then we got a travel nurse in there. And then let me see. We got one on Lover's Lane that was booked out 3 months. And then we got one the ones I'm talking about, the ones with Federico. So my 2 with local, they're doing pretty good now. They're picking up a lot. Mm-hmm. And then the ones with Federico, we got the Lover's Lane one that's booked out 3 months. We got another one that's off of it's off Meadow Park over there off 75 and Meadow, which is kind of close to Lovers, a little up from there. And that one, I just signed the lease. I just, the first day, but I already had a 3-month renter for it. So what I did with that, because I was in talks to get that one, and then all of a sudden the travel nurse hit me up wanting to rent the one on Lovers, because it was really nice. And I told her it's already booked, but I have this other one that we're working on right now, and then I just grabbed the pictures from Zillow and send them to her. Right? I wasn't gonna send her the address or nothing, because then she might find it on Zillow. But anyways, I sent her all that stuff, and oh yeah, I like it. It's really beautiful. I want to rent it. She's like, what do I do? I was like, oh, you can just sign a lease with me, blah blah. And so I sent her the lease, and she signed it and everything. Sent me the money, and then I called that dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the place, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then,
was it already furnished?
It was the fully furnished one, yeah. Fully furnished. That's what I've been doing now. That's my new strategy. So it's fully furnished. She moves it on the 6th actually, but so I finalized the lease with him, and I'm running it at $1,600 a month, fully furnished, everything, internet included, everything, and all bills paid. And then I instantly rented it out for 3 months for $2,000 a month. I wasn't asking the moon for it, because I was like, I'm happy to get someone in there right away. And we have 0 costs going in. That's good. And so it was like, it's funny because I signed her to a lease with me before I even had a lease signed myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so I like doing that. I like having for sure money coming in before I even sign a lease. So I got the lease signed with him, and then we're getting another one. That'll be the number 4. We just got it's over there by Parkland Hospital. It's like some townhomes right there, and as of course I'm having great luck with the mom and pops, because the mom and pop owners instead of the apartment complexes.
So
they're really nice
condos.
Place. Yeah, condos, townhomes, stuff like that.
Okay, so you're not doing Airbnb at all? No,
I'm doing travel nurses. Corporate. We really like that model. Me and Federico, we like. It's funny how things show up when you write them down, right? Because we had these leases and we're booked out all the way through May and June, and he's like, hey, could you send me the start dates and the end dates? I'm gonna make a spreadsheet. I was like, oh, okay. So I wrote down who's staying where and then what the links are. I was like, damn, we don't have to worry about nobody all the way till almost June. All the places. Like, this is better than Airbnb. This is this is guaranteed money with zero work. You know, we just throw them in there, and we don't have to do nothing. We don't have to worry about cleaners and turnovers and all this bullshit. I was like, what are we doing? Let's just do corporate. And so that's what we're switching our model to, you know, kind of like a pivot a little bit. And we're just gonna try to just put corporate people in there, even if we're making 200, or even if we're making 500 less a month. It's still doing zero fucking work. And I like that. And I was like, we imagine how you can scale doing that. Lock people in these long leases and get the next one. Lock people in long leases, get the next one. Yeah, like you said, just mentioned a minute ago, Airbnb can be a freaking pain in the ass sometimes.
For real.
Especially if you don't got the cleaners and stuff.
And the problem is the lady who was checking in, she's staying for a month and a half. So I'm like, fuck. So yeah. But I'm with you. I like the longer leases. Like I've been getting longer ones through Airbnb, through my direct booking website, but I also been getting longer ones because of I got a little marketing strategy off Furnished Finder that has not been failing, man. If people say no on Furnished Finder, well, we'll send them a message on Furnished Finder, but I've been just adding them to my MailChimp, and we send every 30 days, they send a message out to them. And I got my administrative assistant. That's what she's going to start off doing. So,
okay.
Yeah, man.
It's been working good?
Oh, yeah. So we got that going on. So the longer leases are definitely the play. Go longer leases if you can. I push for longer all day because right now I think my 2 places in Arkansas, they just came up. And I think on March 7th, somebody checks in for 3 months. And on my place in Jacksonville, somebody's about to check in for 4 months. So, yeah, those long terms, then you only got a few places that you need to Airbnb until you find another long-term person. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Now, are you allowed to Airbnb those?
The lovers, we are. Now the one that's the one off of Meadow, they say the HOA is not, you know, they don't allow it or whatever, and but people do it. Kind of that thing, you know. These other 2 places, the same thing in the HOA bylaws. It says you can't do it, but they really don't check or whatever. But I really don't. I really want to get away from Airbnb. I really like this model we're going at. I know we could if we wanted to.
No, I mean like like your marketing's off the chain then if you can just keep it booked long term, or y'all having like Airbnb or short term rent during vacancies.
We always add that in there that we could do that, you know, but like I said, I'd rather lock in someone long, you know, right after the other one leaves, another long-term renter gets it right away. You know, that's what I'm aiming for.
What's y'all marketing strategy?
Well, actually, Furnish Finder and Facebook Marketplace. Okay. That's what we've been. Yeah, we just been hammering on there. And the crazy thing is, what's cool is like we have a unit in Dallas. You know, we have units in Dallas and one in Fort Worth. But just on those, people just keep hitting us up for those, even though they're already rented, which is a great bouncing off point for our other units. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm almost tempted not to pay another $100 to put another unit on there because we already got people asking about these 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you only pay for one unit in the area. Don't ever pay for one unit. Yeah, always pay for one. Right. Like in Houston, I do it I just put a big 2-bedroom up there, the 2-bedroom. I just take hits for all of it. And if they need a 1-bedroom, I take hits for that. Yeah, just only pay for one. Especially in the area, especially DFW. Oh, okay. That's how I did it with my Arlington one.
I did something. You know, I don't know if you ever, you know, with Furnished Finder, you have to kind of like, in order to switch to like change the description and all that stuff, because instead of having to get another unit, you know, pay another $100, what I did, because if you're going to put a whole new unit, let's say I'm going to get another one in Dallas. This is what I did, for example, because if you get another one in Dallas, you have to put the address, but they have to verify everything that you're the owner or you're the you know, they want to see some mail, and it's going to take a few days before they verify you for your new. You can't just say, hey, that one got rented out, I just want to switch out everything and then do this next one in its place without paying another $100, right? Here's what I got around that. The one that got rented out was the Green Dream. And so I still had the address, you know, 1415 Bennett, and I had the Green Dream on there, but I wanted to change it to the Lover's Lane one. But I couldn't because it won't let me change the address, because that's like putting a new unit on there, right? And they have to get approval and I have to pay $100 and all that. So what I did, I just changed out all the pictures, all the descriptions, everything. I left the same address, but on the very top I said, please read carefully. The address of this actual unit
Mhm.
is, so and so Lovers Lane. So the old address is still on there, but it's not even that far away from there. You know what I'm saying? It works if it's the same area.
You don't have a direct booking site?
We do have a direct booking site. Yeah.
So don't even do that. Just leave it how it is. They're going to request it. You're going to get the request anyway. Shoot them to the direct booking site. They choose which one they want. You ain't got to change nothing. Like mine's one.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. I guess this is why I did it, because the Green Dream, it's nice looking condo or whatever, but there's no indoor washer dryer, there's no swimming pool, there's no gym, stuff like that I like. The Lovers one had all that stuff. I was like, I want that one on there because that's more people are going to see that one. But I couldn't. The only thing is I couldn't change the address because I had to get another listing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how a little workaround.
Gotcha.
I just said, hey, actual address is this. And if people contacted me and said, oh, by the way, just make sure the actual address is here. It's very close by, but it's this other address. So it's just, I just wanted them to see the brand new place all decked out and it has all the amenities.
Are you sending them your direct booking website through your Furnished Finder?
Yeah, well, we're booking directly with them because they can, you can't book through Furnish Finder, right?
Yeah, I mean like for branding purposes. So then if they see Argus Rentals, like they know who Argus Rentals is.
Yeah, I send them that because a lot of them are like, I've never rented off Furnish Finder. How does this work? How do I know you're not a scam or something like that? I said, well, here's our website, Argus Rentals. Here's our units. You see that one? It's on here too. And then here's our Airbnb pages for those same rentals. I send them as much information as I can, and you can check our calendars, our price. We're a real company. I tell them, and that makes them feel at ease.
Yeah, because there you go. That's all you got to do. Because like with Furnish Finder, we just use it as a middleman gateway to push directly to our site. And by the way, what you need to do is get you a 30-day stay on your direct booking website. So when they click the 30-day stay, all your listings come up on Cozy and they can just apply directly to your place on a 30-day lease, 30 or more days on a lease. That's what we do. And so when they see that link, they're like, oh, they have long-term stays. And they just click it, and whatever unit they want, they click it, and if it shows if it's available, and if it's available, they book it.
Oh, okay. But they have to fill out a Cozy thing.
Yeah, that's their background check. The background check, they can do it all without you.
Oh, okay. It takes away a step because that's what we've been doing. We've been dealing with directly and say, okay, I'm going to send you the application, and it's Cozy. I just send them into their
just
email.
If you ever next time you're on Cozy, when you say your active listings, it'll give you a landlord page, and you send them that landlord page, and it'll put all your listings on there, and they can just go through and click which one they want. So then what you're doing is you're kind of just, and then you can set up those automated messages on Furnish. Well, not automated. You can set up pre-messages on Furnish Finder. So whenever we go through all the leads, even if they don't match us, and we just send them, hey, here's our website, here's our website, here's our website. Then we just take all their personal information, put it in our text messaging plan and our email plan, and we have their information. And then they get emails 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Yeah.
How much does MailChimp cost?
Like $15 a month.
Oh, that's cheap. That's worth it, huh? That's worth it.
Yeah, you just have to find ways to automate. And then if you can't automate, hire it out, because that's the only part we haven't found is how to automate through Furnish Finder. So we just hire somebody to just go in there, swipe everything, put it in a lead, and then just kind of use everything else as a gateway to get to our direct booking website. Matter of fact, we need to get Peter Francis on the website on this podcast because, dude, his marketing strategy is off the chain. Like, you go to his direct booking website through your porter, and he has, as soon as they come on, they get this big thing in their face that says, hey, subscribe to our email list to get updates. I was like, damn, I need that. So he showed me how to set it up. So I was like, oh yeah, definitely.
It's funny, and in our industry, we always joke around about how travel nurses are notoriously cheap, even though they're making $100 an hour before overtime. Anyways, no big. We love you, travel nurses. Y'all are the best. this one, it's funny because like a lot of agents still don't know how to deal with us. Like, I tell them, hey, I like this place, I want to do corporate rental, and they're like, explain that to me, kind of thing. That sounds pretty interesting. I have other clients that are looking for places too. Maybe you can help them out. That's great. But then they send me the other day. They sent me some lady who called me. Hey, is this Steve? I'm like, yeah. How can I help you? It's like, yeah. So you find people places, right? I was like, yeah. I help you find your place. Okay. Well, I'm having a house built, blah 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 blah, and so I need a place for a few months, and I wanted in this area of Dallas, blah blah, and I want to spend $900 a month. I'm like. But she's wanting to describe. Well, before she even said the 900, she's like, "Yeah, I want. She's talking about all the amenities, washer, dryer, blah blah blah." And she said, "I want a garage for my car," and went on and on. And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "I want to pay $900 a month." And I was like, "Oh, well, maybe do you want to look for like?" It's funny because I said maybe you could get a shared, rent a room out of a house for that. Maybe she's like, "Oh hell no!" She's like, got mad at me for even. She's like, "I'm 50 years old. I'm done with roommates. I ain't doing that." And I'm like, "Okay," but she's like, "Well, how much do your room units cost?" And I was like, they're closer to the 2,000 range. Oh, well, that's too much. She goes, I'm looking for $900. I was like, what is she? Is she 1985 or something? What the fuck?
See, and I don't even waste my time with them calls. See, that's why I say, and I'm happy you brought that up, because that's why I tell people that's the reason why branding's so important. I'll just be like, look, 900 is probably in our price range, but here's our website. Here's what you can choose. Now, here's the funny part. The branding part is her saying the 900, she might have booked the 2,000 if she's seen that it was a brand. That's what I've been learning with travel nurses. They do the negotiation thing if they think you're one dude coming with the, hey man, here's my place. But if they like, no, we're a legit company, this is what we do, we're a business, that's why they're willing to pay more. Why do you think these Homewood Suites get these huge contracts? They're paying them $3,000 a month. The place got rats and roaches and they're paying it. It's because it's a brand. It's a brand. You know what I mean? They have this. Once you brand yourself, you can go start paying people. Hey, no, I charge $2,800. Then they'll pay it.
That's interesting. Yeah, once they see it and it's all pretty and shiny, like I get
yeah. They need something. They need a logo. They need to see you're legitimate. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, get that Google Voice number, and they'll get a Google Voice number where they have to say their name to get to somebody. Man, it makes a difference. Start looking at you. You have to make yourself a company and look like a company. They'll pay more. I haven't had any issues.
That's what I was thinking.
And check this out. This is the best part. Have you noticed those unmatched leads? And sometimes they want a real cheap place on Furnish Finder.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't target them. I do.
Right.
I'll target them and send them my website, and they'll come back. Hey, I like this place. One lady, she calls, your places are really nice in Arkansas. Is your 3-bedroom available? She wanted to spend $1,200 a month, but she's asking about a place that's $2,300 a month.
Oh, did she do it?
It was booked.
Oh, wow.
See, it's all about branding and marketing, because once they see that, like, this is Sharebnb's brand, hey, I want to stay with him. He has good reviews. Place is super clean. They have tentative service. They have good service. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So when they put in the $1,200, they know it's a cheapskate out there who's going to undervalue what he has. You have to provide value. Shout out to Alvin Cavalier on that one.
He hammers home that value thing, man, all the time.
Facts.
Yeah, that is cool. The Furnish Finder, looking at the $1,200 ones, they want to spend $1,200 to $1,600. But yeah, I've been targeting them too, I guess. And I've been having pretty good luck on Furnish Finder also.
Mm-hmm.
People, man, all people just complain about Furnish Finder. I'm like, I'm doing all right on there. It's like they just don't know how to talk to people. But speaking of that, like I was telling my brother, man, because like I was talking to him today, and he's always want to do something in business, He's like, I don't know about rent. He goes, I'm a good salesman, I could pretty much sell anything. I don't know, but I don't know what I want to do. He goes, real estate, but I don't know anything about real estate or this and that. He started naming all this stuff. I was like, well, if you can sell anything, then I mean, that's a lot of value right there. Because I told him about my handyman, how I found him. I researched Tile Work, Hurst, Texas, and he was the first one to pop up, and he don't know anything about SEO. I told my brother, you know SEO, it's Google, Google AdWords and Google and Facebook Marketplace, Facebook marketing, and he knows a little bit. I was like, well, this old man popped up first. There's no reason he should pop up first when I look up tile work in Hearst, Texas, right? But these old like niche industries, like fixing tiles or fixing like a windshield repair or stuff like that, I was like, the youngsters don't want to do that shit. These are all like, older mom and pop joints or whatever. And his picture, the picture that came up on Google was his house. It came up with his house. I called two other dudes because I was like, I don't know about that. I saw two other dudes that actually had a little whatever logo or something, and they didn't answer their phone. It didn't even go to voicemail. Mailbox was full. They didn't have no one answering the phone. It was just a cell phone, And I called him because he's the only one that answered the phone. I was like, if you just knew a little bit about Google, how to do some analytics and do some SEO, and if you paid a VA $4 an hour to answer your phone for you, you'd get more business than you know what to do with. That would be your next problem because you'd be number one on Google in like a week.
Yeah.
And it's like so many businesses out there that are like that don't know how to utilize that stuff and to be number one. Because then people, what do? They go to Google and they look for the first one that pops up and then they call them. And if the first 3 or 4 people don't answer the phone, the number 5 is going to get the business, right?
Yeah.
So
if he's a salesman and he can sell anything, why isn't he picking up the arbitrage units for you?
I thought about that, but I don't know if I want to work with my brother. I don't know if
Tell him to get his real estate license. He can sell anything. Speaking of that, I'm getting mine on the 19th, or I'm starting.
No shit. EXP?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with EXP. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, man. I'm
on the 19th, huh? I was thinking. I listened to that episode with what's her name?
Amanda.
I listened to that one today. While I was at work today, I had it on my headphones, and I was like, man, I should get my freaking real estate license.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my license.
So how are you gonna do it? You taking classes or what?
No, I'm doing the. I have all the books because Mahogany went to real estate school. I got every single book. I just got to go through those, read them. It cost me $380 because we already have all the material. So I'm gonna go ahead. I was like, look, man, I'm gonna just go ahead. After I finish this next book, I'm gonna just go hard on my real estate, and I'm gonna go study, see if I can get my license. And my goal is I'm going to market myself as an Airbnb realtor through DFW. And I'm like, I got the credentials to show you. I know what I'm doing. If you want a house, I'll be the Airbnb realtor. And then my goal is to get people up under me because I understood when Amanda sent me that business model, I understood it to the T because I have a friend who's in a similar business, network marketing. And that is the business that Robert Kiyosaki is big on. He's like, you got to learn how to network market because that's where the money is. You can start making money in your sleep. So
like pyramid schemes?
No, network marketing. Network marketing is if they sell a house, you get paid. They sell a house, get 10 people up under you, you getting paid like that. And then they have 10 people under them. Dude, that's where the money is. So I was like, I'm about to start getting it in. So I'm going to go ahead and get my real estate license.
Congratulations, man.
Yes, sir, man. So
how long do you think it'll take you?
Hopefully, possibly 2-3 months, if that. But if I can just really get to the nitty gritty, and the thing, I already talked to a few people at EXP. They told me what to do to be successful. So I just got to really run through it, learn it, and go hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's funny. I was listening to that same episode, man. I was like, man, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, she inspired the shit out of me. I was like, damn, I could do that.
Yeah. And we mentioned why our early real estate mentor was kind of trying to steer us away from that, becoming agents, because it just some people just want to,
He was right though for me. For me, in my case, he was right because I hadn't separated myself from my business. That's the only reason I'm doing it is because my business is now a separate entity. We're 100% separate. So
right.
We're just now starting off. I tell people, kind of be careful, because a lot of people business structure ain't there. They don't have business structure. If you don't have that, you can get in trouble out here.
man, that's cool, man. Gonna be an agent. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely, and I was like, man, I could network so much if I had my license and get under a good broker. Man, I keep picking up deals left and right, man. I was like, I can pick up arbitrage deals, sell houses. I was like, man, it's just like Julie too. Julie was like, I have multiple ways to make money off one property. I can sell it to you. I can rent it from you. You know, I'm like, man, that's perfect. So.
And her big thing is, people trust her because she's a real estate agent, and people from out of town they're going to buy. She'll put them in one of her rentals while they're looking for a house.
There you go. There you go.
One of her arbitrages.
Straight up. Well, she don't even arbitrage. Remember, she manages. Straight management. I was like, that is genius. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought on the show she rented a spot for $1,500 and then rented it back out for $3,500.
Did she?
That's what she was saying on the show. Yeah.
Oh, I know she did that.
So,
but
she has a guy that manages them for her because she's off in Cabo or something like that. So
No. I said Julie, not Amanda.
Oh, Julie. I'm sorry. Yeah, Julie. Yeah. I switched from Amanda to Julie. Yeah.
But Amanda too. Yeah, they both got their real estate license. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make the move, man. That might push me to the next level. Will push me to the next level.
Sweet.
But,
hey, Federico is coming to town from Buenos Aires.
That's what's up, man. We gotta all link up and do something, man.
We gotta link up. Get him on a podcast, man. He's got some good stories. He's been staying at Airbnbs for years, and now he's managing the Airbnbs from Buenos Aires. So
good idea, man. We got to get them on. And by the way, if you want to get more real estate deals, even more arbitrages, man, get a good broker on your team. If you're friends with a broker, you're gonna get all types of deals. I've been getting deals left and right because I made friends with a broker. So that's the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Get a broker.
How do you find a broker?
Google. Luckily, I found mine through networking. So I found a broker through networking, and it's been getting access to the foreclosure list, the VA foreclosure list. The VA foreclosure list is dope because they'll accept a bank loan. So you can go put down 5% on even 20% on something that's undervalued, and it'd be a good play for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, bro.
So what properties you working on right now? You got a few in the works?
Yeah, I found a property. I hit you up earlier about a swimming pool because there's a property, 3-bed, 2-bath, about 1,400 square feet with a swimming pool in the back. And I was like, dang, that'd be nice. And I'm like, man, I wonder about only question was about the liability. So my thought process was to immediately put it under under LLC or just rent the property directly to my LLC right now and just work it that way. And that's why I hit you up about waivers. I'm like, did you have people sign waivers or I was seeing your protection on it because I need to hit up some people with pools, see what they're doing. Then I got a few more I'm looking at too.
You might try that. What was that? It's like pool, Airbnb for swimming pools, renting out your swimming pool. Remember that one? I sent you a link to that a while back. I wanted to get the CEO on there where people with houses can rent out their swimming pools. $60 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever they want to rent them out for.
Well, Pierce
yeah, I guess something like that. But this is specifically for renting out your swimming pool. I forgot what it's called, something Aqua B&B or some shit like that. But I'll find it out for you. And but I'm sure if you talk to them about it, and they'll know exactly which waivers you need and stuff like that. Which protections, insurance, if you need a specific type of insurance. I don't know. It is yeah, you're right. It is a risk. Look, I mean, I guess I know a drowning can happen anywhere, but luckily my pool is like I don't know, 3.5, 4 foot all the way around. It doesn't have that giant deep end kind of thing where people be diving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our thing was kids and everything else. I was like, man, I need the pros and cons because my thought process would be, because I know the first way to protect yourself might be an LLC. You know what I mean? Because I was like, you rented your house before, right?
Yeah. On Airbnb. On Airbnb. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because Lydia, I'm sorry. Cool, whatever. A renter of mine at one of my places is saying that the power went out, in Arlington, and she's asking me about it. And I don't know. She said I thought all those power outages were gone. So, and then my tile guy, plumber guy, hit me up right now. Right, these two things, but whatever. That's just part of the business, right? We get hit up all the time by things.
Speaking of Arlington, the house next door is for sale. Pretty cheap too.
What's pretty cheap?
Dude's talking about, I think this dude's a new realtor. He's talking about listing this place for $230. 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 2,100 square feet. I said, what? And he goes, are you wanting to buy it or do you know someone? I'm like, yeah, I know someone. And I'm like, I'm the next door neighbor. He's like, oh yeah, I'll show it to you as soon as we're done. I'm like, she was like, we're going to paint next week. And we'll probably list it at between 230 and 250. And I'm like, 230 and 250, man, these houses are going for like 270 over here, but okay.
Are you going to buy it?
If I don't, I'm going to see if I can get somebody to buy it. But I'm like, the hell? Okay. But, I'm pretty sure it'll get bought up pretty quick by one of these Californians, but I'm like, 230 for this? So.
Well, hopefully it goes for more because then your value will go up, right?
Yeah, but the only thing, my house has like 700 more square feet. So I'm a little bit different off this dude's comps. So I'm like, good. But it would, though, because the price per square foot being sold would go up for sure.
Cool.
But yeah, man, it's been a rough couple of weeks with the power outage and everything. Yeah, busted pipes. Everything's starting to come back around to normal. I'm working on a bunch of deals. So
you didn't get an email from Airbnb, did you? About this is how the email I got today started. Hey, Stephen, send us your stories, your Airbnb journey, your stories, whatever, because right now, the city of Dallas is talking about Airbnb regulations. So we want to be able to show them stories of people that are Airbnb, successfully and yeah, just.
You know what, though? You made a good point, and it's starting to come true. You said with Airbnb going public, they now have to protect their ass, so they got to start working with these cities. It's 3 cities now. Dallas is the third that I know Airbnb is starting to work with. Because of regulations, like I know Big Bear Lake, Airbnb sent me a message about them. In San Diego, San Diego just banned like 70% of their rentals. So, yeah, 70% of their short-term rentals gone.
70%.
Gone. Like the city council voted on it. But Airbnb sent me messages, hey, come RSVP to the event. We know you have rentals here. So I RSVP'd to it, and the city voted we're getting rid of it. They start regulating it. So yeah, Airbnb is definitely on the front. They are definitely pushing for that. Now I didn't know Dallas was pushing for regulations, and I think this kind of goes back to what me and Jeff Illoween were talking about on Clubhouse. I don't really worry about it too much if it's in a market that I am arbitraging in, but if it's a market I'm buying in, I might want to be careful. Yeah. So have they said anything about what they're implementing or what?
No, it was just a vague message like that, because they're talking about doing regulations and please send us your stories. So, power's back on. And so, it's going to happen. That's the risk. That's why I like the corporate rental first model. Because even in the most banned cities, even in freaking Arlington, I can have a 30-day plus rental. I could have a corporate rental there, because it doesn't violate. Now they might say something stupid. Well, it was on Airbnb and that's a short-term rental site. That they were doing that to people. Mm-hmm. Even if you say 30 days only and your calendar is only, allows 30-day rentals, they can still be stupid like that. But pretty much anywhere, it's always been the law of the land. If you rent 30 days or more, it's a long-term rental. Mm-hmm. Hotels are the only things that back in the day that could do, mine under 30 days. That's just how the laws are written, right? Mm-hmm. Airbnb changed the game, and then now cities are catching up. So I would always, that's why I like having the corporate rental mindset first. Airbnb if we have to fill in the gaps, But even if that dries up, we're built to be the best corporate rental experience that we could possibly be, and we're going to target to travel nurses heavy, and people that are traveling. A lot of people, and I've just been hearing it more and more because like 40, what does it say? 40% of jobs or even tech jobs in this country went fully where the people could work from home, at least 40%. And before that, the number was under 10%, but now it's over 40%. That's a lot of people. So
really that tells you travel nurses, you might be just picking the low fruit from the tree.
That's what I'm saying,
Are going higher up.
So people are going to
travel nurses, I'll just tell you this. A company mailed me a $10,000 check to house their employee.
Whoo.
I'll just say, travel nurses are the low-hanging fruit. You need to get with these companies, bro. Got to get with the companies. You got to get with like these companies that know who you are. I found them. I think I found them off of Google. I was running Google ads.
Nice. How many months rental is that?
I think he's at it for 3 months.
3 months?
Paid 3-4 months. He paid it all up front. I was like, the hell?
Wow.
At first I thought it was a scam. I'm like, y'all do it? It's like, no. And so I looked them up. They gave them their DMB. They were a couple $1 million company. I'm like, oh, they'll pay it. And they paid it. And so you got to definitely go for the different. You got to change it up on who you're traveling. Travel nurses are just easy to get in touch with.
Right, right.
But the other people, once they know who you are, that's where it is. That's where it is. Nice.
That's the thing that we want: travel nurses and corporate renters. And so, and of course, like you say, get with the insurance agencies and get, it's just such a. And what's cool about it, that kind of model, it's just such a segmented. What do they call it? What did I say? Segmented. It's kind of like an up in the air kind of deal, right? It's not like, okay, everybody and their mom knows what the freak Airbnb is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can go on 2 clicks on their phone and start up an Airbnb, which is what a lot of people are doing. And, we see thousands, hundreds of thousands on like Clubhouse and, Instagram, Facebook pages everywhere of all these newbies, asking about, how to do this, how to do that, asking the basic questions. That means a lot of people are getting in it.
Mm-hmm.
So why compete with they say, like a race to the bottom? They're going to get in, they're going to freak out. They can't make the first month's rent. So they're going to knock the prices all the way down to like $40-$50 a night. They're going to undercut everybody. All these people have been doing Airbnb for a while. So why compete against that? Why not, playing a different game where there's not a lot of players playing,
Mm-hmm.
And so so you're not competing. You're competing against yourself. You're competing in a select group of other people in a fragmented marketplace, because you got Furnish Finder and their website is shit, but it gets the job done. And then you got Chubbo, corporate housing by owner. I guess I've never tried them. You've tried them before?
Yeah, I had, when I first got into it, I was on them, and I got a couple of hits actually. I need to get back on it. My thing is right now is trying to expand my footprint, be on everywhere. Like I'm on Copa, CHBO, Furnish Finder, Nurses B&B. I'm on all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nest Pick just hit me up. They want to list my places on there. It's about really just SEO is important, because then you'll get other people reaching out to you to list your places. That's what happened with Nest Pick. They hit me up, and they're a corporate housing company as well, and they're big over in the UK, but they're trying to expand their reach to the US.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what it is, just trying to expand my footprint. And who knows about me? I think Alvin Johnson touched on a big thing. He said, I think he said Grant Cardone told him the reason why you're not going fast as you want is because nobody knows you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get out there and get to be known, So that's really one of my big things. That's why I'm real big on the ads right now and branding, marketing,
Nice.
Because I do want to be the corporate housing people in the central Arkansas area. Like if they want corporate housing, they're coming to me. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, Federico just talked about he started up this I don't know if it's a 6-week course or 3-month course, something like that. It's an SEO course online that you could take.
Really?
Yeah, he's jumping in. He's taking it every day, doing all the modules and all this stuff. I think it's free, but you have to keep completing all these things. So he's heavy. He wants to learn that big time, to get at the SEO and branding, marketing, all that stuff. So. Sure. That's great. He's a smart dude.
Yeah, man, that's what you got to do. You got to definitely open that mind up to that branding and marketing, man. That opens you up, because, man, just one connection just got me in the database with just houses on top of houses, So,
yeah,
one connection.
Here's a thought too. What do you think about this scenario? Like, as far as like, because a lot of those nurses on Furnish Finder come in, they don't want to spend too much money right now. So whenever they're looking, they put their criteria 1,200 to 1,600. You don't pop up. So when they're on their search, when they're searching for places, you still, even if they narrow their filters down, you'll still pop up.
you got to kind of take Furnish Finder for what it is. Furnish Finder is just a lead generation, right?
Right.
So your goal isn't for you to pop up for them. They need to pop up for you.
Yeah, I understand that part. I'm just saying, like, if someone's just casually searching and stuff, they see something, maybe the 2,000 a month unit's not going to pop up, but another one for 1,600 will, and they'll grab that one. I'm just saying, if that's how it works when they're searching, they can fit their filters to up to $1,600. They're not going to see us. Yeah, yes, we can go in there every day and search and then find them and then send them messages or whatever. But that's why I like how they do the unmatched search thing. I wish Airbnb would do something like that. But anyways, here's my scenario. Would you consider putting a house on, or house or apartment, condo, whatever, for $1,600 a month, just so you'll be able to pop up on all those 12 to 1,600 people, but they have to pay the utilities and they have to pay a pet fee, and you just kind of add all these add-ons. But you know how people are. You know, people, they see a car for $10,000 and think they're getting a car for $10,000, but after all the add-ons, they're really paying like 16 or 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, is it worth it to do that, or just to keep it a straight 2,000 and then
charge people and then nickel and dime them? Pretty much.
Is it worth it? Or yeah, that's just.
I think the question is, would you put a place up for 1,600 and then add extra fees? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, would that be more effective because of visibility?
On Airbnb, maybe, because Furnish Finder don't really work. Furnish Finder more or less on the other end, but like on Airbnb, yeah, you could do that.
Because I noticed
guests do that, hosts do that, nickel and dime people.
Right.
I kind of do it on code. Go ahead.
And it's not nickel. I mean, to me, it's just, hey, man. I mean, either I'm gonna pay it and you don't have to worry about nothing for $2,000, or you're gonna pay it and you get the place for 1,600. You know, it's the same thing. But people in their mind think, oh, I got a place. They're gonna tell their friends, I got a place for 1,600. It's badass. Yeah, well, you got to pay electricity, you got to pay internet, you got to pay water, you got to pay a freaking dog fee, you got to pay, a brush your teeth fee.
See, now this is the other side of that. Most people who are, okay, this is how I say you can get away with that. Maybe if you're not talking to I don't think it would work on a travel nurse, because I think most travel nurses know I ain't paying utilities. But if you get maybe a company that company that I'm working with, they might have been up for that. I don't know. They might have been like, oh, I'll pay the utilities. So, but I know a lot of them are just looking for a flat fee though.
Okay. Cause I know, and this is what's cool about, how when I search things on Zillow, because I know that a lot of these places that are priced anywhere over $1,200 a month right now, because a lot of apartments you can get into for $1,000 to $1,200, maybe to $1,300. A lot of them priced over $1,200, $1,300. But they put on there, oh yeah, we're including utilities. They don't show up on people's radars because people go on Zillow and they put their filters, and none of those houses, those condos or apartments that are over that $1,200 mark or $1,300 that they put are going to show up. So they sit, those ones priced just over those marks sit there for a long time.
Yeah.
Even though it's a better deal for them. Yeah, even though it's a better deal for these people because they're getting everything paid for and perhaps furnished too. So I'm being able to grab these for a decent price, fully furnished, all bills paid.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. So you're grabbing.
I'm grabbing those because people don't see them because of the filters, and that was my argument. That was my question with Furnish Finder. Would it be worth it to put my places at $1,600? But boom, 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 you got to pay all this stuff.
Zillow would have been a better example because that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Zillow, because you just put a perfectly fully rented place, underprice it, and then have in the description, hey, you got a pet fee, you got the utilities, bills. That could work.
Yeah.
Because then you're just making money. You're taking you're technically taking your profit margin off the base rent.
Right,
if they're paying everything else, yeah. I would definitely now doing that on Zillow and Facebook Marketplace, that might be your play. That would be your play.
Facebook Marketplace too, yeah, you're right about that.
Honestly, get on TurboTenant.
Is that better? TurboTenant?
TurboTenant lists it everywhere. Facebook, Craigslist, Zillow, Realtor, TurboTenant and Cozy, man. They syndicate your listing everywhere.
Yeah, I know Cozy does that too, right?
Yeah, they're called listing syndications where they list your place everywhere. Cozy and TurboTenant. TurboTenant, they'll create you a link that you can just post on Craigslist. And I remember you saying this to Ethan Cook a while back. He goes, you said if you go on Craigslist, you got to kind of be careful. He goes, some people have rinky-dink listings and some people have these really, really extravagant listings where only certain people will click on it. That's what you can do with TurboTenant. You can create this really, really nice listing. They'll create it for you. You just paste it in.
Nice.
All the pictures and everything pop up. Yeah.
That's
Now,
cool.
yeah, see, like a place like I think Zillow, that would work. That strategy would work perfectly on Zillow.
Mhm.
You know, if you undercut it, then they pay. See, and a lot of people on Zillow are already looking to pay utilities.
Exactly.
See, that I think Zillow's your friend on that one. Because they don't give a damn. That's what they're looking for anyway. They just want a place.
Yeah. You're right. Huh.
Yeah.
Good talking, man. Good chat today.
Yeah, I definitely think that'd be the play on Zillow, man.
Yeah. Screw Encore. I was looking text message from Encore. Your power might be out. Blah blah.
Oh,
Who was the one that screwed us all in Texas? Just they kept talking about that. Who runs the power grids here?
ERCOT.
ERCOT.
Yeah, that's gonna be ugly.
But Texas is coming back. You know, we can't survive the cold too much, but we're coming back. COVID's going away. I've been saying this for a while. The news is finally admitting it, even though they don't want to admit that COVID's going away. They're finally saying, yeah, cases are way down, hospitalizations are way down. But our governor said, that's good enough for me. Let's just end this this COVID bullshit. And so someone put some. Oh man, it was funny because I was like, you know, I follow South Padre Island, whatever. On let me jump into this real quick. I mentioned South Padre Island. Elon Musk sent out a tweet today. Elon Musk, you know, he's a Texan now. He lives in Austin, and his SpaceX is down there in Boca Chica Beach, which is right next to South Padre Island. You know, you can see it from there, and he's doing his launches there now. Well, he just announced today he's building a new city in Texas. It's going to be called Starbase, Texas.
What's that?
And I'm pretty sure, and that's all his tweet said, but I'm pretty sure he's going to take over that Boca Chica, you know, area, which is a little bitty town right there where he's launching his shuttles. And I think he's going to turn that into like a freaking a NASA type city or some shit, man. Yeah. SpaceX city. He's going to actually name it Starbase, Texas.
Really?
So yeah, so that's a big
trying to grab an Airbnb down there. Because hey, if Elon says it goes through the roof. Look at Doggy Coin, you know. So I mean, hey, you know, he's manipulating markets with tweets.
And the Congress, Senate, whatever, they passed the new stimulus bill, so they're going to print a couple trillion more dollars out of thin air. Inflation's going to go crazy, but hey, we're going to get some stimmies, right? Crazy. Crazy. It's a fun world we live in. Crazy. Gas is already going up, so everything's, you know, it's gonna go up. Definitely. But yeah, man, this has been a good one. We getting it in. Houston's doing good. Dallas is doing good, man. I like your new model. That's what's up. Got to definitely tap in on that. So yeah, I'll be sending off some deals once I get this license. So let you know how it goes. Man, you're inspiring me now. I'm going to look into it, too. Because you did say if I got it, you'd get it. So now if you do it, I got to do it. Shit. Think about it. You get your license, everything becomes easier. You can network, you know, access to the MLS. You pay for it, but we got Airbnb to cover that cost, you know. So man. Yeah, you're going to use it in a particular way because you're not going to be about driving people around spend your whole weekend driving people around to houses that ain't gonna buy nothing anyways. You're gonna do that? Yeah. You're gonna waste your weekends? I'll waste your weekends. You gotta think about it in the long-term investment standpoint. If I'm driving around to houses that I know are for sale and I network with people and I also do Airbnb, hey, you want an Airbnb house? This last guy didn't buy it, but it's for sale and I can manage it for you. Gotta look at the opportunities. What does Julie always say? Got to take your blinders off. Love it. You got to take your blinders off. Chili's bad to the bone.
Yes, sir.
All right. Where can folks find us?
Find us at liveletthrive.com. You can email us at liveletthrive@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. We ain't been posting much, but we will be back onto that. By the way, I don't know if this episode is going to be out. It's not going to probably be out, but tomorrow I am going to be on a Clubhouse. I ain't been on in a minute. I've been on a hiatus, but I'm going to be on there with TJ, and he is bringing our guy Sean Rakizic to the stage. So we are going to be on that stage. LLT will be there and other heavy hitters, so y'all got to tune into that.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'll definitely be on stage for that one, and I'll be putting on a show for LLT.
Yes, sir.
And we are out.
Later.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.